Good morning students. I hope you all have gone through the video. Okay, so today we are going to continue with this poem. Let us revise this stanza. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Miniature bows, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So what the poet is trying to say, that humans cut and chop the bark of trees in many pieces, but that is not sufficient to destroy the tree completely. Okay, in short you can say that hacking and chopping alone will not be sufficient to kill a tree. Okay, not so much pain will do it. The powerful blows of the axe can only give pain and scars to the trees. Okay, but it cannot put an end to its life. It's not possible to put an end to its life. The bleeding bark will heal. Gradually this bleeding bark will heal. Okay, all the wounds, okay, and scar the bark of the tree that is having. Okay, it will heal with the time. So it may ooze, it may bleed just like an injured organs bleeds. Okay, but gradually the wounded bark will heal and it will again get its strength. Okay, there may be some scar, okay, but still it is going to heal up. Now miniature boughs means what? Miniature boughs means small, newly sprout and tender branches, okay, that comes branches that come out of the stump of the tree, and if they are left unchecked, okay, what will happen? They will grow to their original size. Okay, former size means original size. So you can say gradually this would heal and from there new branches will start growing again. Okay, so this is the meaning of this part. Okay, now come to the next stanza. No. Here what do you mean by no? No means what? No means chopping and killing cannot kill a tree, and it requires a lot of efforts to kill any tree. The root is to be pulled out of the anchoring, okay, out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out and snapped out. Okay, so what the poet is saying, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring. Anchor means to hold. Okay, hold. Rope means what? Cord. So what the poet is saying, that the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. Okay, so you have to take out the roots if you really want to kill this tree. It is to be roped. With the help of rope, okay, you have to tie it up and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Let us see this stanza now. As I told you, what do you mean by no? Means chopping and killing cannot kill a tree. It requires a lot of efforts. Okay, so the poet describes the actual process, okay, that can kill a tree. So here the poet is describing what? The actual process, how you can kill a tree. So this stanza describes the process of killing a tree. So here the poet says that it has to be uprooted. Okay, if it has to be uprooted, if you want to kill a tree, one has to separate the tree from where? From the earth which supports it. Anchoring means hold. Okay, anchoring means what? Hold. Fine. So what the poet is saying, that one has to separate the tree from the earth which supports it. Who is supporting? The earth. Okay, the root is held so tightly. Okay, you must have seen that root is held so tightly and supported by nourishing earth. So it is not at all easy to destroy. Okay, it is not easy to pull any tree, okay, without any help. You cannot pull it very easily, and if you go and just chop it, or you just give a cut on the tree, it is not going to die. So what the poet is saying, that the root is held so tightly, okay, and supported by the nourishing earth, all the nourishment that it is getting from where? From the earth. So it is not that easy to destroy. What one has to do? One has to pull out. Okay, one has to pull out with great force or to be cut into pieces. and then taken out the depth of the earth. Okay, first of all you have to cut it into pieces, then you have to take out its roots. Okay, then only it is possible to kill that tree. Okay, it is to be rope means cord. Okay, you must have seen that how the people, if they want to completely take out the tree from its root, how they do it. Okay, they use rope to take out it from its root. So it is to be rope tied and pulled out. Okay, then only it is possible, and pulled out, snapped out. Okay, if one wants to kill the tree, so you need a lot of force to kill that tree. Okay, for pulling it out, what we have to do, what we have to use, we have to use rope. Okay, for pulling it out, okay, what we have to do, we have to tie it firmly. Okay, first of all we have to tie it firmly, okay, with ropes, and then apply great force completely to uproot, okay, uproot this tree. As real strength of a tree lies where? In its root. You all must be knowing that the real strength, it gets nourishment from that root. Okay, so that is the real strength. Fine. So where you find the real strength? In its root. As the real strength of a tree lies where? Obviously in its root, which remains wet and white deep under the earth. If you see the root, okay, you all must have seen that how it is. It is wet and white in its root, which remains what? Wet and white deep under the earth. It cannot tolerate, and next part what this poet is saying, are pulled out entirely out from the earth cave. If you want to really kill that tree, you have to pull out from its root. Okay, and what the poet is saying, next line, and the strength of the tree exposed the source white wet, the most sensitive. Its roots are very, very sensitive. It cannot tolerate the exposure of sunlight. Okay, and the moment it is exposed, it is very difficult for the tree to survive. So what the poet is saying, that it cannot tolerate exposure to the sunlight or heat. Okay, so you all know that if we keep roots in the sunlight, it gets what? It gets dry. Okay, because roots are very sensitive and it is hidden part of the tree. Okay, so it is very sensitive, and if we are keeping it in the sunlight, it is going to get dry and die. I hope you have understood this stanza. Then come to the next stanza. Then the matter of scorching and choking. Okay, scorching means to burn slightly. It's very hot. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning and hardening, twisting and withering, then it is done. So this is the last stanza. Okay, in this stanza the poet describes how an uprooted tree, okay, ultimately dies. So in this stanza what the poet is trying to say, okay, how an uprooted, once it is taken out from its root, okay, from the earth, how the things happen. Okay, in the last stanza what the poet tries to describe, okay, how an uprooted tree ultimately dies. Okay, gradually, slowly it withers and dries up with the action of heat and wind. Okay, once it is exposed, okay, as it could not tolerate heat and wind, okay, it dies. But there is also a process of all these things. The trunk will become brown, twist and will harden, and then it will die. It will not happen in a one day. Okay, it will take some time, but it will die in this process only. Okay, in short you can say that it does not die at once. Fine. First of all it becomes brown. First of all it will become what? It will become brown. Fine. Its soft white wood hardens, then it hardens. Okay, the hardened roots get twisted, then hardened roots gets what? It gets twisted. Fine. Once it is twisted, then it withers away completely, then it dries completely, and then it is done. Then it is done means what? What do you mean by this line? The final killing of a tree. Then it is done means final killing of a tree. Okay, this is what it means, right? I hope you have understood this part till here, and go through this poem once again. Still, if you don't understand, you can ask the question. Okay, now you have seen that throughout this poem the title is appropriate. Okay, it contains the major concern of the poet about the merciless and careless felling of trees. Okay, in this poem you have seen that the poet has tries to show the process of killing of tree. The entire poem is explaining what the view that killing a tree is not a simple, it's not a simple and short, okay, and easy process. Okay, trees have tremendous strength, it has got a lot of strength, and it is not easy to kill any tree. So here are the some meanings given. Okay, you can get the meanings from here also. Zap, sudden rough blow. Leprous hide, discolored bark. Okay, as I told you the meaning of the bark, hard outer covering of tree. Hack means cut roughly. Anchoring earth, trees are held securely with the help of the roots in the earth. Where we find roots? Obviously in the earth. Snapped out means chopped out. Scorching and choking, the drying up of the trees after being uprooted. Okay, so this is these are your word meanings. You will note down word meanings in your notebook. Fine, go through your poem and you'll see that two things are given in this poem. One side the poet is saying, okay, that you should not kill a tree, and one side other side the poet is trying to say that it is not an easy task, okay, to kill any tree also. It is not at all possible, it's not that easy to kill this tree. Fine, so the message in the end is that trees are something pious and like human beings, they are precious, so they must not be cut. The poet also conveys that the tree is deep rooted and cannot be removed easily. It is not an easy task. He compared it with the evils which he thinks are deep rooted and cannot be removed easily. Okay, go through this poem once again. Any question you can ask. For this last stanza I have given you step by step. Okay, you will go accordingly. Fine, this is the browning, hardening, twisting. Okay, you will go step by step. What is twisting means? Turn. Then withering. Okay, withering means to become very weak, very weak. Okay, and then it is done. Fine, so this process you should know the moment tree is exposed to sunlight or air. Okay, these are the things that you find. Now I'll stop this video over here. Thank you.